Well, hello, my beautiful friends. If you are listening to this on the day that it posts, it's Thanksgiving 2025. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you are just experiencing a bounty of blessings and taking time to reflect on the past year and all the gratitude that you have for all the things, the good and even the not so good. I think we can often find glimpses of love and beauty and support from friends and from family. And so I hope you are embracing all of that. And I am currently out of the country celebrating Thanksgiving in Italy. So I thought this would be a great week to go ahead and share an episode from 2 years ago. It was episode 20. So this was 100 almost episodes ago. And it's one that has tracked really well. People commented a lot on this one. They said it was not only inspiring, but it actually led to them grabbing their journals and setting some goals. And as we're wrapping up another year, this is a time when a lot of people want to reflect. So if you're already thinking about some things you might want to set for the next quarter or the next year, I would encourage you to find a quiet space and listen to this. Now, of course, you can take me on a walk with you, or while you're prepping the kitchen or cleaning up delicious Thanksgiving dinner, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're driving to Black Friday sales. Whatever you're doing, you can always listen to it first. But I do hope that you not only listen to this, that's passive. You've heard me talk about this before. We need massive action. Not just passively taking in information, but actively and massively doing the action. So I wish you all the most wonderful week, and I will be back next week with some fresh information and episodes. But until then, gobble, gobble till you wobble. Hey homeschoolers, I'm Melissa Webb, former full-time classroom teacher and homeschool mom turned full-time business CEO. Yes, I want to give you sound, educational, practical tips and advice, at the same time making sure that you're enjoying the family journey that you are on. So if you are looking for a place to be encouraged and inspired, you have found the perfect podcast. Homeschooling is a work of heart, is truly the perfect place to start. So welcome. Let's jump in. I read many great books, but one of them was called Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And your paradigm is just your subconscious thinking, the things that you have believed for so long that as a child were taught to you that you believe are truths. And they could possibly be holding you back. It's a great book. Bob Proctor has written many good books. And one of the concepts that he shares are what he calls the ABC goals. Now, he's a really big fan of C goals. And while he doesn't give a lot of time and attention to A and B goals, he really focuses on those C goals. I actually see so much value in all three of them. And so when I set goals now, I make sure to grab a good couple A goals, a good couple B goals, and at least one amazing C goal. So in this episode, I'm going to explain what those three sets of goals, and I want to challenge you to get some quiet time put into your day with maybe a journal or a notepad, maybe make something hot and delicious, a cup of coffee, tea with honey, and maybe even put a little light music in the background. But just give yourself the gift of thought time, thinking time, where you can either get up super early in the morning or stay up late, but you don't have children tugging on you. You don't have people asking something of you, and you just give yourself the gift of some quiet time and consider these A, B, and C goals. Are you ready? Here we go. This is a great episode, by the way, to just listen to one time through while you're folding some laundry or maybe cutting back your rose bushes. I just did that. And so it's great for that. But you also may want to listen a second time or have a notepad near so you could write down a couple ideas as you go. Okay, let's jump in. So we're going to start, of course, with the A goals. Now, A goals are achievable goals. And they're very specific tasks that can be measured. Remember, all good goals can be measured, meaning if you hit the goal or you didn't. If I just say exercise more is just so broad. What does that mean? So you always want to be more specific, and that's true in any goal. But an achievable goal is that specific task that it can be accomplished relatively easily and pretty consistently. And they're great goals. They're achievable. If I say I'm going to set a goal to exercise for 10 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, that is very achievable. It is a goal. Maybe I'm not doing it now and I want to do it in the future. So it is a goal. However, it's not asking a whole lot of me. 10 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week, that's an A goal. If I wanted to say something like every weekend I'm going to make my grocery list and then I'm going to go grocery shopping, clean out my fridge and prep my food. I'm going to do that every week. That's a great achievable goal. But it's not so unbelievably difficult that I couldn't do it. And there is a place for goals like this. Maybe you want to read more. Now be specific. Like for some of you, that could be like, I just want to read one book that's for parenting this next year. I get so busy with everything else, I don't do that. And I really want to do that. Or maybe it's, I want to read a book a month or a book every quarter. So pick whatever. It feels pretty achievable, relatively easy. It could be we want to save money, so we're going to cook dinner at home 4 times a week, 5 times a week, and then have leftovers. However you're going to do that, it's a specific thing, pretty doable. It's not going to take a lot of time, effort, and it's going to save money if you're somebody who eats out a lot. You could be like, this is the year I'm going to start a journal. And I'm just going to write in it 2 to 3 times a week. These are very achievable goals. They don't require a ton of time, effort, skill. If you're like, I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time and I find myself on social media, I'm scrolling all the time, not a problem. Like you could just set a goal that when I run my social media in the morning and then again in the evening, I'm just going to set a timer on my phone for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. If that's something that you feel life would be better if you were on it less, you'd get other things done, then that would be a very achievable, relatively easy goal that you could achieve. As well as if you're like, I just want to organize my garage. That's big right there. That's a pretty big goal. But to make it achievable, an A goal, you just make it very simple by saying I'm going to organize one section at a time, or I'm just going to work on it for 10 minutes, 3 times a week and just get done, take some stuff over to Salvation Army. It's all these things. It could be with your closet, your kitchen, like one drawer at a time. However you want to set that up, just know that these goals, like cleaning out the fridge every weekend, it is specific, but it is achievable. And they are wonderful. Like they contribute positively to your life. So I think they have a place. So consider, what are some A goals you could set for yourself? I set them quarterly, but you get to do whatever you want. Set it for the whole year if you want. That's intimidating to me. So I'm just a 90-day girl. Okay, but I also come up with some B goals. Now, B goals are bold goals. And I want you to think more long-term objectives. This is going to require some sustained effort on your part. You're going to have to really up your commitment game here. And again, you'll come back to these every 90 days, but this is a kind of goal that could continue on. You're going to need more time to achieve it. Whereas those first set, those A goals, like at the end of my 90 days, I could be like, yeah, I did great with that, or I could do better. Let me just tweak this. And I could continue on with those, but I'm already seeing success. Whereas B goals are a little bolder. And so more obstacles are probably going to get in your way. Think of it that way. I'll give you a couple examples. A B goal could be, I'm going to save 15% of every check I receive and put it toward our retirement savings. See, that's a bigger goal. It's going to take a lot more sustained effort, because what are you going to have to give up? What are you going to have to maybe sell to have it so that you don't need as much money? 15% of every check. There's going to be more mind work that's going to be required here. It's going to take more effort. It's going to take more commitment. It's going to take more thinking to get through to that one. If all of a sudden I say that one and you're like, oh, I couldn't do that, that's a good B goal, because wouldn't it be good for us, all of us, to save more for our retirement? We don't want to be burdens for our kids. We want to be thinking, how are we going to be able to take care of ourselves when we're older? So that could be a great B goal. It's a little bolder. What if you were like, I really want to learn some new skills? You could sign up to take a college course. See what I mean? That's going to take more commitment, because now you've got a college course. Maybe you're going to take a night course. So now you're going to have to open your schedule, block out Tuesday nights and Thursday nights from this time to this time, whether that's an online course or an actual course at a college, a community college. Maybe you do an online course that's not a college accredited course, but there's so many great courses out there because you want to learn a skill. So it's going to take you a whole semester to set that goal. That's a big goal. It's bolder. It's going to take more time. It's going to take probably some money to do it, to take that course. You're going to have to invest in yourself. These are bolder goals. Maybe for your health, you're like, you know what? I'm going to sign up and do a sprint triathlon. Those are so fun. I had a whole season of my life, actually, when I was in my 40s. I'm in my 50s now, but in my 40s, I had a goal of doing 10 sprint triathlons over that decade. And I actually did it in less than the 10 years. My goal was one a year. And I did it before I even made it to 50, which was just a really cool goal. And again, that would be a B goal. It's pretty bold, and that is a long-term objective. If you're a runner, you could do a 10K or even a marathon. I don't know where you are with your health situation, but committing to, I'm going to do a sprint triathlon in 4 months is going to require some sustained effort on your part. You're going to have to create a schedule. Which days am I going to run? And which days am I going to get to the gym and swim laps? And when am I going to bike? Because it requires all of those. That would be a B goal, bolder. Totally doable. Like you could totally do it. But it's just going to take more from you, of you, all of that. Okay, I've got 2 more examples of B goals. You have a hobby that you've been doing for a long time, and now you want to turn that into a side business, a side hustle. So maybe you're going to start an Etsy account. Okay, totally a doable thing, but it's going to take more than just a weekend to do it, because now that you have it, you're going to have to market it. You're going to have to let the world know that you have it. You're going to have to maybe create a social account for that. You're going to have to tell all your friends and family. It's going to take a little more discomfort. That's another way that I know it's a B goal. It's a little uncomfortable. These other ones that we shared, the A goals, me just getting out 3 to 4 times a week and walking for 10 minutes doesn't make me uncomfortable. Upping how many books I read a year, okay, there's no discomfort in that for me. But these B goals, it comes with a little bit of discomfort. Ooh, I gotta tell people what I'm doing, and I gotta ask them to come check out my shop and maybe buy something for me. Now we gotta do some thought work. There's gonna be, what if they don't like me? What if people judge me? It just becomes this little bit of discomfort. Another one here would be, I wanna lose X number of pounds. So especially if it's a lot, if you have 30 or 40 or 50 pounds that you want to lose, that's a bold goal. That's not one that you're going to achieve in 90 days. You could maybe get in 90 days 10 pounds off, but then you're thinking, okay, but then in the next quarter, I'm going to work on the next 10. And it may take you the full year to lose 30, 40 pounds, but that's a great bold goal that again is going to cause you some discomfort. When you get invited to somebody's birthday party and you've been doing so great, you've eliminated the majority of sugar in your diet, and you go to this party and it's your favorite kind of dessert. They're like, oh, we didn't do cake. We have decadent brownies. And you're like, oh my gosh, I was expecting cake. I was prepared to say no to cake. I don't even love cake, but brownies, that's going to cause you some discomfort because you're going to have to be strong enough in your determination to say, I've already decided that myself that's 30 pounds less, she doesn't eat those things. Or all she says is, give me one sliver. It's going to be one bite and I'm done. That's going to take some challenge, some discomfort to be that new you. Okay, got it? How are you feeling? Good? Do you have any ideas for some B goals? You might want to write them down, but just remember, this is going to require it's a little higher level of commitment, some planning, definitely some persistence compared to those A goals. But these are significant milestones and achievements that I promise these can significantly impact your life. In the long run, do you see how much more this would grow you? All right, let's talk about my favorite goals. These are my most favorite goals, the C goals. These are what I call the courageous goals. Now, Bob Proctor never gave words to these ABC goals. He just called them ABC goals with what I read and what I heard. But I've attached words to them. Like I said, A is achievable, B is bold, and C is courageous. Like to me, these take courage. Like these are the aspirational dreams. They may seem like incredibly challenging, maybe even implausible at the moment. Like, how would I do that? But they ignite a passion in you. There's this deep thing inside of you that you want to create. There's a desire in you to achieve something extraordinary that you were put on this planet to create. I believe that's in all of us, every single one of us. As human beings, we were made for an extraordinary life, and shame on us if we're not living it. That's on us. So these C goals are courageous goals. These are ones that have you going, I really want it, and I'm not sure how I could do it. That's a C goal. You ready for some? I'll give you a few examples. To invent or innovate something new and put it into the world. For example, start a business. And this is one of my biggest C goals of my lifetime. I was a classroom teacher for years and years, and then I was a facilitator for homeschooling families. Still, just teaching, just doing my job. And then I created a writing curriculum broken into 4 weeks based on standards and created in a way to help homeschooling families be very successful in the area of academic writing. And I put it out there, and a family said, this is amazing. You should have your own business. I would buy this from you. And I was like, really? Have I invented it? Have I innovated, really? Because there's lots of ways to teach writing. It's just this was the way that worked, mixed with everything that I'd learned. I just made it into a way that worked best for me and for the families I knew and my children and the students I had. But to start it as a business and put it out there was the scariest thing ever. Scarier than that was actually quitting my dependable, regular paycheck coming in kind of job. To stop paying into my retirement out of every paycheck and now knowing that I'm responsible for that. Yikes. It was very scary, and I had no idea how to do it because nobody in my family ever started a business before. This was brand new. I'm the first entrepreneur for generations. I had another big courageous goal, and that was to publish a book. Now, I would say writing a book can be a great goal. That's a B goal. Writing a book is a B goal. It's bold. It's going to take time and commitment and all those things. It's not a C goal, though. To take it to a C goal level is publish it. Now you're at a C goal level because now you are putting it out there to the world and promoting it and asking people to buy it. It's a whole different thing. As well as writing a screenplay, that would also be a B goal, but then submitting it and trying to promote it and sell it and make money off of that, you've taken it to a whole new level. Developing or creating a course and then turning that into a product to sell, creating a business around that, those are great goals. And you might be like, yeah, I have no idea how to do that. I've written a book, but I don't know how to publish it. Great. That's what takes it to C goal. When you're like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. That's great because now you are really pushing yourself. Maybe you have a real heart for a charity or a nonprofit organization. That would be great. Maybe volunteering for that on a regular basis could be your B bold goal. But to actually establish your own charitable foundation, establish your own nonprofit organization, if you have it on your heart, yeah, I want to put an impactful organization into the world that's going to address a specific global issue like poverty alleviation, education for underprivileged children, maybe some kind of environmental conservation, and you're going to start it in your own community. That's big. If you're like, I have no idea how I would do that, great. But if it's on your heart to do it, start figuring it out. Write it down as this year's C goal. Don't worry yet about how you're going to do it. Don't let that stop you. If in your heart of hearts, if in your mind, if I'm supposed to do something in this area, I just know it, then write it down. Maybe it's to actually buy a house or a rental property. Maybe it's buy a house for yourself. It's something you've always wanted to do, and you have no idea how you would do it. Great. Or a rental property, a fixer-upper. You're like, I don't know how to do that. But I really love the idea of being able to have property that I could rent out or create some kind of a housing building for homeless people. Like, these are the dream goals, my friends. These are the courageous ones that you're like, I want that, but I don't know how to get it yet. Yet. The power of yet. Just write it down. You could have other goals. I really want to win a prestigious award like an Oscar for filmmaking. I don't know how I would do it, but I actually have done that screenplay thing, and I actually have it in the hands of editors right now. Then what's the next big goal? You want an Oscar for filmmaking? Write it down. You want a Pulitzer Prize for literature? Write it down. Because maybe you've already done some big, audacious kinds of goals. But what are you doing to move them to the next level? All right, C goals. They are preposterous. Those are the goals, and we need them. When you are planning out what you want for the next quarter, you want A goals. You want B goals, but you want these C goals. They may seem daunting, maybe even impossible at the outset. That's fine. But what they do is they represent your deepest aspiration. That if you pursued these with determination, with passion, these would lead to extraordinary achievements, profound impact on your life, even a profound impact potentially on the world. Okay, I want to remind you that we as humans, we are God's highest form of creation. The creator, whether you call that universe, God, I say God, created all things in the universe. And of all the things created, from mountains to oceans, to insects, to animals, to all the creatures, we humans are the highest form. And to just get by, feels like such a waste of the lives that we've been gifted with. So let's not just get by. No, let's set some achievable goals, some bold goals, and a courageous goal too. And I want to encourage you to plan your future in front of your children. Talk out loud. Say, these are some of my achievable goals. These are my bold goals. And this is my courageous goal. And you know what? Your kids might actually look at you and be like, what? Mom's gone crazy. But you know what you're really doing? You're modeling what living a full and fulfilling life actually looks like. You are creating your child's future as you create yours in front of them. Isn't that one of the greatest things that you could do in 2024? Model what's possible for your children. Start believing in yourself and all your goals. We become what we think about. So think about great things. Think about big goals. Think about what you could possibly become and do in this next year. And for anybody who's, you know what I'm taking on this year? I'm taking on homeschooling. For some of you, that is your C goal. That's the most courageous thing you could do. For some of you, you are homeschooling and you want to be more bold about that. Better lesson plans. It's going to take more time. You're going to have to up your writing game. You're like, yeah, I know we're not doing enough academic writing. We're going to do more academic writing. For some of you, we're just going to go ahead and sign up for WOW Writers Clubhouse. And I will tell you, just joining us in WOW Writers Clubhouse, that is very much an achievable goal. You could just come on over, see what we offer, go, yep, that's very achievable. Sounds good. And we're going to work on our writing. You could move it to a bolder level by actually requiring your child to write an essay every 4 weeks. That's tough. I'm telling you, we give you the calendar, but lots of things want to come up and take away time. And then your child's only writing an essay every 2 months all of a sudden. A bolder level is, nope, we're going to do an essay every 4 weeks. And if you want to have a courageous goal for your child and encourage them to set goals, say, I want you to consider becoming one of Mrs. Webb's best writers. Out of all the kids in the class, be the best writer. That's courageous. You have to go, I don't know how I would do that. But then you got to jump in and find out. And you've got to do the work. You got to turn in the writing. And then we tell you what would make it better. You got to go in and make it better. And then you have to say, I feel like it's good, but is it the best? Because I'm working to be the best. That's my courageous endeavor. We'll help you. We'll help you because I already know it's possible for you. I hope you're feeling motivated and inspired. Please take some time for yourself. Get quiet and consider your ABC goals. And if you feel up to it, by all means, share with us. I would love to hear what some of your achievable, bold, and courageous goals will be. Right on. Well, thanks so much for tuning in and listening this week. Hey, if this was something that you found valuable, don't forget you want to subscribe or follow so that every time a new episode is dropped, you'll be the first to know. And hey, before you go, if you are looking to get some of this academic writing under your belt and outsourced so that it's one less thing, freeing you up to enjoy more time with your family, hey, you're going to want to head over to writeonweb.com to see what kinds of resources and materials I have available for you. I will look forward to seeing you there, and I will look forward to seeing you here in our next episode. Right on.